The thrill of victory.
Yay!
And the agony of defeat.
Boo!
Mostly just that second part. Here's what sucked in sports this week. You Suck Sports on 105.1 The Blaze.
This week in Sucky Sports, why any talk of last year's 60-game Major League Baseball season being real is totally bunk. Plus, ESPN hates Simone Biles.
You can't sit with us!
But first, we're going to start with the Green Bay Packers and their continuing mission to make sure Aaron Rodgers knows his place.
Your soul is mine.
For anyone who may have missed it, the Packers quarterback made it clear that he has no interest in playing for the Packers anymore a couple months ago. Call it professional differences, call it a difference in philosophy, call it you drafted my replacement without even mentioning it to me and you traded up to get him, and I ain't going out like no punk bitch. And you know what? I believe him. Aaron Rodgers is living his best life without football. I don't think he has any problem never playing again. Growing his hair out, living the Hawaiian life with his hot celebrity friends, beats the hell out of Wisconsin.
You're darn tootin'.
Yet for weeks, the Packers have been doing shady things to make sure everyone else knows who's wearing the pants in this relationship. Leaking to the media that they have no intention of trading him, making fun of his beard.
Your beard is weird.
Your stash is trash.
I don't know if that last part's true, but they've been pretty dicky all around. Well, mandatory organized training activities started this week, OTAs, and it was pretty clear that the Packers believed Rodgers would in fact show up. Well, guess what? He in fact did not show up. You know what? Packers, come over here to Mike 2. We need to have a talk. You know, there comes a time in every relationship when you just have to admit that it's run its course and it's time to move on. I know you don't want to hear this, but Aaron Rodgers is just not that into you. He's not coming back. It's time for you to let go.
He broke up with you!
I don't know if Aaron Rodgers ever plays again, but I do know it's not going to be for the Packers. And if he retires, hey, hanging out in Hawaii with your good-looking celebrity friends beats the hell out of hanging out in Wisconsin doing just about anything.
For sure.
Moving on. This week, Major League Baseball passed an interesting marker. The 60th game of the year has been played by most teams, and that means that if we were playing by last season's rules, the season, well, it would be over. So it's fitting to take a look at the standings right now and see who would make the postseason and who wouldn't. And what do you know? If the season would have ended after 60 games, the San Francisco Giants would have won the West and would have home field advantage throughout the National League playoffs, while the Dodgers and Padres, they'd be battling for a wild card spot.
You don't say.
Now, I don't bring this up once again to claim that the champion of a 60-game season isn't a real champion.
Hey, it does.
No, I bring it up because I promise you these standings will not look the same at the end of this year's season. But if another Dodger fan comes at me with their defending World Series champions BS, I'm going to point to the standings after 60 games this year and request my Giants 60-game title t-shirt and car flag. Moving on. Why does ESPN not respect America's champions? Why does ESPN prefer clickbait chumps over possibly the greatest American athlete competing right now? That's a serious question. Last weekend, Floyd Mayweather treated YouTube famous Logan Paul like a rodeo clown, while at the same time, American gymnast and all-around badass Simone Biles was claiming her 7th U.S. title on her way to an Olympic Games that she's once again sure to dominate. Yet, SportsCenter's official social media covered the exhibition fight on 17 different occasions. How many times did Biles, America's champ, get mentioned? 0. As in, not even once.
That's bull.
I mean, come on. I get that gymnastics isn't huge, but surely it's bigger than YouTube Foxy Boxing.
No refunds.
And to ignore her on an Olympics year.
Shame! Shame! Shame!
And lastly, I had a different story planned here, but this is pretty badass. A few weeks back, New York Mets outfielder Kevin Pillar had his face broken by a baseball.
In the face! In the face!
Well, he was back in the lineup last night, and in one of the most badass power moves I've ever seen in the sport, he walked up to the plate holding the same bat he was using when he got hit in the face. How do we know it was the same bat? Because it was blood-stained.
Yes! That's awesome!
I mean, I still think baseball players are soft, but it's a power move right there. And that's sports for this week.
Make a rash decision every morning.
If you like that bit, don't miss the show weekday mornings from 6 to 10. And if you didn't, we'll try harder next time. Oh, also, like, follow, subscribe. You know the deal.
Rash, because someone has got to bring order to the chaotic mess that we call life. Weekday mornings on 105.1 The Blaze.